You're listening to the Grown and Growing podcast with Sonia and Roberta. Welcome back to the Grown and Growing podcast. I'm Sonia Hamlin.
And I am Roberta.
It's so funny that you don't say your last name.
Y'all ain't getting my last name. We don't know each other like that yet.
We're still growing together as co-hosts. You'll see it works out. And I am Roberta.
All day.
All day. You know, this week the conversation is all about aging. And I'm excited because we got a lot to talk about. We have a lot to cover. We have a lot of opinions about aging.
Yes.
So go ahead. Take it away, Roberta.
Me take it away? All right, because I'm usually probably the one that's always talking about aging the most. All right, so when I think of aging, I'm more so thinking physical appearance. Mm-hmm. I mean, a little bit also like being considered old is like being out of the know and like you're not up on like the latest music or trends or fashion or whatever. Like that's also in like the aging bucket, but it's mostly physical. And so physical meaning like both your body, like having mom bod, and then also like face card, you know, your face doesn't quite look like it did.
I'm gonna need you to, okay, let's take a step back. Okay. What the heck is a mom bod? I heard a dad bod, but right. I've never heard a mom bod.
Well, it's the same thing. It's just the woman version. So like, I feel like when the main thing that constitutes a mom bod or a dad bod for that matter is the midsection. And it's like, even if you work out and you got like the whole 6-pack thing going on, there's still like a lack of curves for a woman.
For a black woman?
For a black woman. So specifically, okay, the first time I ever thought, ooh, that's mom bod, I forget what movie it was, but it was Regina King.
Are you saying she has a mom bod?
She has a mom bod. Love her.
I just thought she had hips
mom bod
or something.
No, like it just goes straight down. Like she was cut up. I don't know what she was playing in, but she was like cut up, and I was just like, but she doesn't have like, and I feel like this part shrinks or something. You have a shorter torso as you get older. I don't know. But when I see it, I'm like, that's mom bod or that's dad bod.
Okay. So first of all, I don't think you're just naturally curvy when you're younger.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, because you have a flatter stomach or something, but you just, I feel like some people just have hips, right? Some people just have no hips and no butt.
I'm familiar with that. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I've never heard of mom bod. Are you sure you didn't make that up?
I'm pretty sure I'm not that clever. Like, I'm pretty sure I didn't make that up.
All right. And then you talk about face card. Okay. Look, I don't care how old I am. My face card will never decline. But go ahead.
All right. You're
Continue.
Right. Exactly. But the emphasis being on your face and like what your face looks like, you know. Now, granted, like women now wear a whole lot more makeup than we did like 10 years ago. So I think that's contributing to it. It doesn't matter what age you are. It's just like a certain appearance you have to have.
Yeah.
But as you age, you know, you get wrinkles and your skin is not as elastic and starts to like sag a little bit. And so those cues and signals of aging, those are the things that like give me agita. Okay.
So when I think of aging, I definitely think about the physical, right? Like the body. I think the biggest thing about aging for me, it has to do with weight. Like that's one of the bigger things that I've noticed, that the older I get, the harder it is to lose weight. Like I used to be able to be like, ooh, I'm going to a wedding in 2 weeks and I need to lose 10 pounds. Bam, stop eating this. And all of a sudden that 10 pounds is gone. I don't have that ability anymore. Like I don't have the ability to just drop weight. I'm still curvy, so I don't know maybe you think I got mom bod because I got a little tummy now, but no, the curves are still there. I don't know at what point in your aging calculator you start to lose your curves, but
I think it's like 55.
Damn.
I think it's like 50, 55.
Okay. 50? It's not 50.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't like lined up women or men to look at like the difference in their bodies between 50 and 55.
All right. The other thing I equate to aging is moving slower. Man, I cannot get up as fast as I used to.
You mean literally like getting up off the sofa?
Yes, getting up, not even off the sofa, off the floor. Getting up off the floor, even though I go to the gym, I'm just not spry. I just like, boom. You know, you used to be able to just hop up. Ain't no hopping up, because if you hop up, you might pull something, right? If you sit too long, like another thing about aging with me, if I sit too long, then my hips hurt. Like I need to like stretch. Like stretching is a thing. Like
No, stretching
you cannot.
is
Used to be
definitely a thing.
young. You know, stretch for what?
Right.
Now, no, ma'am. No,
Well,
ma'am.
yeah, your body doesn't recover quite.
You definitely doesn't recover. So when I think of aging, those are the things that I think of. Like,
Okay.
ooh, this is happening. I mean, obviously you throw in perimenopause, menopause, and all that stuff. Even though, you know, I know that stuff is coming. But generally when I think about aging, that's what I'm thinking about.
Okay.
But what prompted us to have this conversation though is the difference in our opinions on anti-aging versus
Right.
aging gracefully.
Right.
So how would you define anti-aging?
So to me, anti-aging is doing things in resistance to appearing older and actively trying to preserve your youth.
Okay. And aging gracefully?
Aging gracefully is just not caring about your appearance as far as like aging at all. Like you were literally just like, I'm out here getting a year older and whatever that looks like and feels like, it is what it is. It's a very strong, it is what it is vibe.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I don't think that at all. I mean, I agree with you with, so would you rather, if you had to fall into a category, would you rather be anti-aging or would you rather age gracefully? I mean,
See, it's so admirable to like, people should be in the like age gracefully. You should do whatever in life gracefully. I mean, no, no.
you're going to go kicking and screaming.
I'm going to go kicking and screaming.
Okay. So I think anti-aging, I agree with you. It is doing things that are going to significantly slow down or stop aging, right? Which, you know, there's that. Aging gracefully, I think that to me, it's a mindset behind it, right?
Okay.
Like aging gracefully means that you accept that you are growing older. There is nothing that you can do about it. You've accepted it and you've embraced it. It doesn't mean that you've accepted what comes along with aging, but you don't beat yourself up if your skin is not like, you know, smooth as glass anymore. Like, or it doesn't mean that you don't take steps to, you know, look your best. It just means that you accept that getting older is, to me, is a privilege, and you kind of live in that space and you're not chasing your youth, which is what I feel like, you know, when people go hard on the anti-aging, it's like you're chasing youth.
Right.
And it's like, girl, youth is it ain't coming back.
Right. And there's we can do a whole nother hour on why it is that you want to, you know, maintain that youth. So, okay, I don't disagree with what you're saying. So here, and also it uncovered like this other cognitive dissonance I have. So, you probably familiar with, like, so I turned 46 in October, and I put a social media post basically saying, change the perception of age.
Right.
And it was my ex that actually pointed that out, and not for nothing, he was a lot younger, which I don't know if that makes a difference or not. But anyway.
How much younger?
Why you gotta call that out?
I mean, you say he younger. Was he 44 or was he 34?
No, he was 34. So he's 12 years younger than me.
Okay. And what did this
he had some wisdom. He
about growing older.
He has some, right, exactly. And the fact that it came from someone younger with his perspective was very interesting, but also I think needed that neutrality that, anyway. Basically, he was like, I don't come across as your typical mid-40s or like person that's close to 50-year-old. And I should embrace that. He was like, just instead of trying to conform to whatever look or whatever the trend is for a young 30-something or 20-something, be who I am in whatever form or fashion that is.
Yeah.
so that people perceive, no, this is what a 40-something person acts like. You know, there's certain things, and that goes across, that's physically, that's from, you know, I hang out all night and, you know, go to the club, lounge, whatever. I drink my wine, I smoke my weed. Like, I do all the things that a typical, probably 40-something-year-old doesn't do, but they do, because that's me and that's what I do. Right. So I'm caught between wanting to preserve some of that stuff more physically, but also getting people in my circles, but also society used to, no, this is what age looks like, and it's fine.
I definitely think that, you know, our generation is changing the perception of what age looks like, right? Yeah. When my mom, first of all, when my mom was my age, I thought she was old. But I think there's just a difference of just being here and understanding, you know, you're 46 now. It has happened to you now. Like, you are that age. But I do think that, you know, our generation is more youthful than the 46-year-olds of past, right? And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that that our generation has a lot more life, right? We have seen a lot more. We've experienced a lot more. We're taking care of ourselves, hopefully a little better. I mean, not on the whole, the country is getting fatter and sicker, but on the, you know, I feel like the information is there to better take care of ourselves. And also, we're resisting the life that people say you had to have at 40 or 50. You had to be at home. You had to, you know, all of those stereotypical ways of aging. I feel like we are bucking that. And honestly, I think social media has a lot to do with that, because we get to see what other people are doing.
Right. I was saying good ways and bad ways. Yeah.
Yeah. It opens up your perceptions of the world. And so you are like, oh, I don't have to do that. I don't have to age. I don't have to consider myself to be old. Because,
but it happens, I think, in more micro ways. Like it happens in like fashion, and things that you wouldn't think a 40 or 50-year-old will wear. We out here wearing real comfortable, real secure, and fine with it. I think it's also like women choosing or not choosing to have families, to work and have these careers, to be influencers, do whatever they want at all these different ages. So people, I mean, it's a stark generational difference, I think, because also like my golden girls, I can't help but think that like when that series first started, they were all 50. And like thinking about how they carried themselves and what they looked and the perception that they were giving off, the Golden Girls, is nowhere near what I feel like I give off. And so it's just very different for us now because of social, because of fashion, because of all the things.
Right. And also, I just don't want to feel old. I don't want to feel old. I don't want to
What is feeling old? What does that mean to you?
What is that feeling old? I think there's I'm resigned to, you know, come home and not do anything. I always want to be filled with life, right? Yes. I always want, hence this podcast, Growing and Growing, right? I always want to feel like I'm evolving, like there's always something new to desire, to chase, to achieve. Like, to me, that's living. And I feel like as long as you have that, you can always feel youthful, even though your body will betray you and not, be the body of your youth, but your mind can be that, your soul can be that, your spirit can be that. And that's what I always want. And I put that over how I look, not how I feel, right, physically, right? Because I think that, it is important to take care of yourself. Like, the older I get, the more I realize, you got to take better care of yourself. Because in order for me to be youthful in my spirit, to pursue the things I want, no matter how old I am, my body has to allow me to do that. And if I am focused on, taking care of my health, because I haven't, then that's other things I can't focus on, because I'm trying to freaking live. I'm trying not to die early. So
True.
I think I love seeing older women. When I say older, I'm like 80, 90.
I love how the like what's old shifts throughout life.
It's not me.
Right. Whatever I am right now, add about 20 or 30 to
not me.
right.
me. But I love seeing them living their best life. And to me, it's less about the physical of the old, and it's more about the spirit. Because to me, I mean, if you chasing the physical, I'm like, that could be a distraction too. You always trying to nip, tuck, plump something into youthfulness.
Right.
But let me say, I do not disagree with those things. I don't think that aging gracefully means that you have to accept every wrinkle, right? Maybe you accept fewer wrinkles. But
I'm about to say, where do you draw the line? Like, what is graceful versus not graceful?
Nicole Kidman.
Okay, that's the definition.
Look, I love Lioness, but looking at Nicole Kidman, I'm like, girl,
actually,
did your face move?
She fixed her face since. Did you see her on? Was it 9 Perfect Strangers?
No.
All these actresses are finding the surgeons. Like Lindsay Lohan, she's found.
She looks great.
She looks great.
Oh,
but like
no.
compared to what she looked like before.
Donatella Versace. Did you see her new face?
I've heard about her. I haven't seen her new face.
Oh my God. I don't know what. I didn't even know they could reverse it. So
there's surgeons out there for everything. Right.
We're getting off.
Exactly.
Where do you draw the line?
It
Donatella Versace.
Right.
But I think that, I guess where I draw the line is, I think that at a certain point, you have to, you cannot pull your, you can't pull your face enough to prevent every wrinkle, right? I think there is beauty in getting older. And I think the more you try to prevent getting older by nip, tuck, pluck, injecting yourself, the less youthful you actually look. You just look like an old person who did too much.
I mean, you got to find the right surgeon. Demi Moore, she was the other one too. I don't know who got her to do her. Anyway.
I think Demi Moore looks great. I mean, the last time I saw her, I haven't seen her. Oh.
A couple of years ago, she had some bad work done. Anyway, I am very much torn between, because I do feel like, and I guess it's the most important part, but like spiritually, energetically, physically, to the point where like I'm moving and I can get around and I can do all the things. Like I feel no different than I did 10, 20 years ago. It's literally the signs of aging that bother me, because I feel like what's on the outside and what people see and the first thing they see doesn't match what I'm, energetically, spiritually bringing forward.
Mm-hmm. What I wonder about you is, does your focus on the physicality of aging have to do with the fact that you hang out with a lot of younger people? You hang out with a lot of 30-year-olds.
So,
and
okay.
Is that prompting you to put more emphasis on the physical because you're hanging out with people who are 10, 15 years younger than you?
Or am I doing that so that I can feel younger? I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. I feel like the main reason, above anything else, and me being in my head about anything, I don't actually go out looking for 30-year-olds to hang out with. But like, I think that part is more of a reflection of my lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And that is what I'm aligned with. Like my energetically and like all the things, I just so happen to attract people that are younger in like age, whether that be friends or romantically or whatever. But I think it matches that. And also, again, like I'm not married, I don't have kids. And so most of my friends that are married with kids and all, like that are my age, are off they have very different lifestyles. Yeah. Right.
I'm one of those people.
So it's like the people that are out here being wild and free just happen to be like 30.
Mm-hmm. Is that what you consider yourself, wild and free?
Always. If I ever stopped being that, when you first met me, I was not wild and free.
You were. Oh, that's a good point. I feel like you're Benjamin Button.
I've aged. I've definitely, energetically, spiritually, I have definitely aged backwards. Because when you met me, I was a 45-year-old white woman.
Let me tell it. It was Martha Stewart. When I first met Roberta, when we were 24, we were 24, 25.
Yep.
She was married She had a huge house in the suburbs, right? This was in grad school. We all lived in the city. She lived in the suburbs. She had a dog. She had a Volvo. I don't know what you had. Was it a Volvo?
No, it was a Lexus truck.
A Lexus truck. Oh, and you wore cardigans, right?
I wore cardigans around my shoulder. Not on, mind you, but wrapped around. Girl.
At 24.
Had my hair up in a bun and I wore glasses.
Yes. That was you. And now you're completely different. And that's what I like about you, because even your evolution from that, from being, a Stepford wife to where you are now, I'm like, you have evolved so much
180
and lived a completely different life. But the interesting part about it is you've always lived an interesting life. Like when you tell me about your childhood, I'm like, it's very different from my childhood. But we're getting off.
I know.
So back to aging, right?
Yes.
I think, yes, you are wild and free. And it's like you said, that's who's attracted to me. But also that's who I think you're also seeking, right? I think you're seeking
I'm sure there's some of that in there.
Yeah. And you get what you're seeking, which
right.
is to live this life where you stay out. And I mean, you told me about one of your Saturdays, and I was like, hell no. I'm going to need a nap somewhere in between activity 2 and activity 4. Like, why are they all back to back? Like,
Right.
But anyway, so we have out here to talk about like how aging impacts your day-to-day life. So
yes.
How do you think about aging, or how do you see that manifesting in your day-to-day life?
Well, literally day to day, it's a lot of effort and cost of skincare, like products, and there is no shortage of different products out there that you can buy and slap on your face to try to like do whatever, combat wrinkles, sagging, whatever. So it's a lot of effort in that, I got to get up earlier to do all the skincare routines, or like, delays when I can go to sleep and doing makeup and all that. So anyway, so that's a lot on a day to day, but also like generally it's in my awareness because I'm single and dating. And a part of that is wanting to be attractive. And in my mind, which I don't think is like too far off from most people, is like you equate being attractive with being youthful. And so, yeah, it impacts me daily.
Do you think that, because you have a tendency to, or at least in your more recent dating, you have a tendency to date younger men that are
two younger men.
Oh, I'm sorry. But it's recent.
It's recent.
Like, is that on purpose, or is that just happened?
No, the one, my ex, we met on Instagram. And so we connected over like-minded stuff. We connected over yoga and that lifestyle and spirituality. And we had very common like stories and backgrounds. And so we connected off. I had no idea how old he was. He didn't know how old I was. And similarly, like, more recently, the person I'm seeing now we met through the industry that I'm in. It wasn't like I was on a dating app and I just put it down to like a certain age range. Like I don't do that at all.
35, yeah.
But also like if whoever I'm with romantically, or friends for that matter, because I have a lot of my girlfriends I realize are like, a lot of them are younger. It's being available to go out on a Wednesday night or Tuesday night or whatever and wanting to check out this new bar, this new restaurant, or do whatever.
I feel like older people will want to do that. There are older single women, but
I want to be inside by 9:00. I'm not leaving the house till like 10.
I feel like you stereotyping your own time.
But this is just my experience. I would love to befriend people of all ages. I'm not like, whatever.
Ageist.
Not at all. I would love to have friends of all ages. Hey, if I can find me a 60-year-old that's gonna go with me to the Gold Clover on a Tuesday night, let's do it.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you to it.
Okay,
but that wouldn't be me though. Exactly. I think for me, like the way that aging impacts me is it's not the makeup, it's the skincare, right? I do agree with you there because I will invest in some skincare because I want to preserve, right, what is happening here. And also I'm like, I want to take care of it. I don't want to be ashy, as I grow older. I don't want to be wrinkly and ashy. So I do want to preserve what I have. And honestly, the skin I've always been lucky in that regard that I don't have terrible skin, but I'm like, I want to keep it. People always talk about perimenopause, changing everything. I'm like, can't change
something I read that like there's like certain age points where you see a dramatic drop off. Like year to year, you don't see like that much of a difference, but I want to say what I read was 44 or was it 40? Yeah. Okay. Something like
44, 45 is where you see the
biggest difference. And honestly, I see the difference.
Yeah,
in my face.
The next one is 60.
Yes.
Is when you see the biggest jumps or you feel the biggest effects of aging.
Right.
And I think for me, when it comes to aging, I don't think about my face that much, or it comes in, I think about my weight, right? I think about my weight a lot. And I've come full circle when it comes to my weight. Like there were times where I thought I was too skinny, right? I had chicken legs and I wouldn't wear shorts. And then I was too fat and I wouldn't wear shorts. And then I thought, look, this is going to be funny. So I'm very curvy if you've never seen me in person. I have, TNA all day. I don't lack for any of that. Like where everybody out here going and buying it, the Lord blessed me with both bountiful. But I will never forget when I was younger in my career, I'm like, oh my God, my body is so unprofessional because everything was like my pants was tight and everything accentuated my curves, my dress, but I had to get over it. I had to get over that. Yeah. I was really, self-conscious about going into work and being taken seriously or not being a stereotype because I have a big butt and boobs. So yeah, I used to think my body was unprofessional, which is terrible.
That's terrible.
It is. But now when I think about my weight and as it relates to aging, I think I've shifted my focus, right? I definitely want to be a healthy weight, and I would love to be my goal weight again. But what's more important to me is having a body that works, having a body that's strong, that is reliable, that will take me through the day, right? I can, walk 5 miles. I can stand up for hours and it not make my legs swell up to sausages. That kind of thing is what I value so much more than being a particular size. Like I could do push-ups. I could, being
the strength.
Strong
Yeah.
to me, and not being feeble.
Yeah.
It's something I equate with being older.
Yeah.
I never want to be feeble. I want to be strong. I want to be able to move my body. I want to be able to go somewhere, go and do whatever I want and not have my body prevent me from doing that. And then the other thing I think about when it comes to aging is my mortality. And that's really tied to, what I just said about my body and my health. I think about growing older and not being able to see my kids grow up, or will I be able to see them have kids, or I have friends who lost parents when we were in high school. Every time you hear somebody who dies at 50, you're like,
right, I'm not ready for that phase of life. I can't.
We're already there. People die at 50, at 40, and you're just like, oh my God.
Right.
It just hits a little bit closer to home to me. So to me, that's how I think about aging. But, I know that's super serious. I've kind of brought down the mood.
Not at all. So what do you do about that, or with that feeling? What do you work out more? Do you try to how top of mind is it?
It's not something I think about every day. Because the other thing about me taking care of my body is I have adjusted to, because I've been working out so long, being active has been a part of my life for so long that if I don't do it, I feel weird. I feel sluggish. I feel it is the thing that literally gives me energy. When I come home from the gym, Derek is like, I need you to calm down. I need you to calm down. I'm dancing. See,
okay. So apparently that's when I need to hit you up to go out. It's when you come from the gym. I mean, let's go out.
Hit me up at 7 a.m. when I get home from the gym at 6:30. Hit me up a.m. That's what I'm doing. But, having said that, though, just going back to the aging gracefully thing, I don't think that there's anything wrong with doing things to preserve your youth. But it's like, how far are you willing to go? How far are you willing to go to preserve your youth?
I've already found my plastic surgeon.
To do what? What exactly?
For a facelift.
At what age? So first of all, I feel like it's too early to think about a facelift.
No, that's why they call
age?
it preventative. You don't want to wait till everything is all sagging and drooping to like pick it up. You got to like do like little things so that you're not looking like Nicole Kidman out here. You got to
I feel like that's going to lead you to look like Nicole Kidman.
No. Because, I mean, I had my plastic surgery done when I was 25 and it was just like, okay, I did what I needed to do. I feel good about myself. I didn't need it anymore.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And now that you're 25 years later,
right?
20 years later, right? So how far? So when you say you found your plastic surgeon, when are you planning to have this procedure? And what?
I'm thinking 48-ish. So maybe another 2 years.
And what will you be doing exactly to your face?
So I thought about either threading.
What the heck is that?
So it's like basically like taking like little stitches, like threading and like pulling like little micro needles and like ever so slightly across, like pulling it up. Because I don't want to do fillers. I don't want to do anything. People look crazy with fillers.
You can't do Botox?
I don't want to do, I haven't done anything yet. So I haven't done Botox. I haven't done fillers. I don't want to do anything in like injections because what I've seen like before and afters.
Yeah.
It's too much. Like you don't look like yourself anymore.
Mm-mm. You look puffy.
And I don't know.
Like you have an allergic reaction.
Right.
All the time.
Exactly. I don't want to do that. Face. And so
But you're willing to put thread at the base of your forehead and pull it back.
Yes.
Got it.
Because my issue, what I feel like my issue is, it's not like wrinkles. It's more like sagging. So what I've noticed is like this part is starting to sag more. Right. And so it's starting to look not like me. So if I could get a facelift to kind of bring that up and like sharpen those areas again, like sharpen my jaw, then that's probably what I'll do.
See, you don't have a fear that he's going to pull it a little too tight and you're going to be looking like a cat woman.
Well, that's why you got to find the right person. And so,
how did you find this person? Why did you decide that this is the right person to do your plastic surgery?
Well, I found this person like on social media. I mean, but that it didn't start and stop there. It just, I was like, oh, who's this person? Do research. Same way I found my tattoo artist. Like, I was like, oh, this person looks interesting. She does what I like. Let me find out more. So it's really doing research. But also, let me caveat too, the fact that I have had plastic surgery before.
Right.
I think I have more of a tolerance to that, or like just openness to it, because I'm just like, oh, well, I've done it before. It's not that big of a deal.
Do you feel like you would know if you've gone too far with your face? And do you want to have a friend to tell you when that's happened?
Yeah, I love how you ask a question, but really I will be that friend that tells you. I think I have enough like of a judgment to be like, but I mean also it's hard to like scale it back. Like once you've already crossed the line of too much, it's hard to bring it back. So I'm very cautious in that way, and I'm only going to do like a little bit. I would never do anything like drastic. But also,
how do you know? Like I know you don't know because you haven't done it. You haven't gone too far.
Right. It's like one of those things. Well, I was terrified when I got my nose done because it's like it's right in the middle of my face. Like if he messes this up, then like, what else are people gonna look at? So I made sure that I found a really good doctor that I saw all his before and afters, like all his before and afters. And this is before, honestly, and it's harder now to find a good surgeon because like back when I had this done in 2004, all the before and afters were actual before and afters. They weren't like photoshopped or had some kind of filter or kind of like, I feel like some people, like what people are putting out there now is like, I did this work. Yeah, like on their computer, like, like it's just not
Photoshop.
Right. It's not very accurate. So it makes it a lot harder to find a good person. But before when I did it, it was pretty straightforward.
Okay.
But yeah, I was
like,
always looking for subtle.
I don't think I'll ever get a facelift because it's just the surgery part. And then I have this But I've seen really good facelifts on Instagram.
I have a
just
whole
saw this
folder
lady.
saved of
Oh my God.
facelifts and facial massage. Have you done that?
No. I don't like people touching my face.
No, you do it yourself.
Oh.
Like, so there's like apps, there's whole apps for this. And like, they'll teach you like what things to do. The stuff that Tracy Ellis be doing, like, and she'd be like having a thing and going up in the gua sha and the whole everything, like that kind of stuff.
See, to be honest, I probably would have a facelift before I did all that.
It's a
I
lot
just
of
don't.
effort.
I
It's
just
a
don't have
lot
the
of
patience to be like, ooh,
Exactly. I have 2 tools. I have sharing all the things. So, you know, have you ever had cupping done, like on your body?
Yeah. I mean, I've never had it, but I know what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they make those little things, like the little suction cup things for your face. And so you put it on your face, and it like pulls and like lifts up. So I have one of those tools that I got from, this is another thing too. I have a monthly facial membership. So I do
fine.
that.
Yes.
Yeah. So I do that.
That's fine, as if I giving you
Right.
permission.
Right.
Okay.
Just okay. That's graceful. That's demure.
Yes. Check. Okay. No.
So I have that, and I have one of those infrared light thingies.
Oh God, you really going all in.
This is what I'm saying,
I
the
feel like I'm
effort.
lazy. I feel like I need to step it up.
It's just me being like in my head about it.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Well, I'd rather you do those things than go too far with surgery, right? And I don't have any problem. Look, you do whatever you want. Not you, but anybody
Right.
out there. Do whatever you want to your face. Do
Right.
whatever you want to your body at the
Right.
end of the day. But I just would hope that people would not try to chase perfection. There's no such thing as perfection. And just learn to, love the imperfections. And this sounds very woo-woo. I get it.
I mean, I'm the queen of woo-woo,
awesome.
but like, it's not
Yeah.
even about perfection. It's for
Right.
me, it's about maintaining the appearance of the person that I originally knew and fell in love with. So when I was in
But
my
don't you
teens
think
and
that
20s,
person's going to always change?
evolve?
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know. I just have
You can't fall in love with a new version of yourself?
I mean, I guess that's the goal.
You like, I like this version.
Right.
I don't know what the other version looked like.
I don't know her.
I get it. I mean, look, because I think we have on here, like, would you take weight loss drugs? And look, at this point, no, I would not take weight loss drugs because I still have it in my mind that I can
Right.
do it if I tweak my eating, if I do better. And plus, I don't feel like I've gotten to the point where I need it. Like, if my blood pressure is spiked and the diabetes was knocking on the door, I'd be like, give me the drugs. Okay? I'd
Right.
rather take these weight loss drugs than to take insulin or to take, to have high blood pressure.
That's less about appearance and more about health. I mean, that I get. Like,
Yeah,
totally.
that's what for sure. That's what I am. I wouldn't do it for vanity reasons, I don't think. Now, ask me in 2 years as I
Right.
keep gaining 5 pounds
Right.
every year.
Exactly.
Then ask me. I may change my mind to
Right.
be like, give me all the GLP ones or whatever they're called. But I think that, for the most part, I keep saying I wouldn't have a tummy tuck just because I just feel uncomfortable about, like, I've watched people I watched a lot of surgeries on Instagram.
Interesting.
And people's weight loss, like, what happens after they get the tummy tuck. And I'm just like, ooh, that's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah, to me, it's not worth it. But you know what I would have done?
What?
Lipo in my thighs.
How is that different from a tummy tuck?
Because lipo, they're just sucking it out.
Girl.
Yeah. Tummy tuck, they gotta slice you and then take off the fat part of your stomach, slice that out like a piece of meat, sew you back together and tight. That's too much. I can't do all that. It sounds terrible. And maybe I don't feel like that. That feels very like scary to me because I never had a C-section. So I've never been
Neither have I. I don't know. Sure.
there. But I feel like, look, and also I feel like I'm still shapely. Like, yeah, my stomach is poochy.
You
But
haven't gotten the mom bod status yet.
yeah, because clearly I'd never even heard of mom bod, but here
I'm gonna
not
send
there
you a
yet.
picture. I'm gonna look up this picture.
Yeah, send me a picture of a mom bod, please. and let me know because I don't know. So we had on here prevention. Did we talk about prevention? Like, so do you consider you sewing the top of your face or the perimeter of your head? Do you consider that preventative?
Yes.
It is? Why?
I mean, that is like, to me, top tier prevention. Prevention of what, right? Okay, prevention of my face sagging, of having jowls and all the things.
Oh, okay.
So, yes, it's preventing that thing, which is probably ultimately going to happen anyway. But I mean, that's like more extreme prevention. I think everyday, like normal prevention is taking. So I take collagen. I put collagen every morning in my coffee. I mean, it does also have the added benefit of like good joint health and like other kind of bone health. But like the main thing for me is the vanity and like maintaining elasticity of my skin. And I've been doing that. Okay. And this might, I'm gonna share something. This might be like extreme prevention, but things that like I think have been helpful for my skin, my face. One, I've been using sunblock on my face religiously since I was about 25, 26, every day. Yeah. The other thing is retinol, and I've been using retinol for like probably almost 15 years. In some form or fashion. They've gotten better in their products.
15 years of retinol? I just discovered retinol last week.
I'm probably going to get cancer at some point because like all the chemicals I've been putting on my face.
I just thought you said you used sun.
I mean, I won't get like sun damage, like that kind of cancer, but all the chemicals I've been putting on my face, you kidding me? We Gen X.
I can't believe you've been using retinol that long.
Yeah.
Like you go to the store. I didn't even.
No, I've been getting prescription grade.
Who was giving you this?
Dermatologists. They don't care. As long as you're paying their premium, whatever. But to maintain prevention, to maintain.
Okay. I literally just learned about retinol. I thought retinol was something white women needed. I don't even. I did. Because that's who was in the commercials, white women. I was like, black women?
Well, we find out that all the black women out here, the reason why we ain't cracking is because we've been using Retin-A since we've been 23. Who knows?
Apparently. I just feel like when you're that young, why do you need it? Like, prevent what at 25? Prevent what at 35?
Preventing the wrinkles, preventing the sagging.
Do you feel like it worked? Was it worth it?
Yeah. I mean, time will tell. If who knows when I'm 80. If I make it that long, but like
you can't have wrinkles at 80. I mean, that is unacceptable.
I'm just talking about health implications of all these chemicals I've been using, both like because I also take another like a hair supplement. I color my hair. That's prevention.
That's prevention.
Well, yeah, like there's a lot of things that
I do prevention, but I don't. But I just started mine. My prevention.
So what are you trying to say?
No, well, you talking about you've been doing retinol for 15 years. Yeah. I just discovered retinol. I am consistent with my skincare. I do use collagen. I do use vitamin C.
Yep.
Like, exfoliate. All that. All of that. All of the things I do. I am much better about sunscreen. I wasn't always, but I am now. So
drinking
those are the
my water, minding my business. All of that.
Minding my business. Drinking my water. Hopefully that preserves me for as long as it takes. Yeah. And honestly, I don't know. It's hard for me to say what I won't do because I'm not there yet. Right? I can't see myself getting a facelift. I don't know because I don't know anybody in my family who's ever had one, and
I mean, neither do I. That's a luxury. Okay. That's a privilege.
It is.
Also, the doctor that I found, he's in Alabama, I think, for the one photo that like he did all the things. It was $20,000.
Oh hell no! I'd rather be doing. That's another thing. I'd rather be doing other things with that $20,000. I'm not gonna drop it on making my face wrinkle for what? Look at this face. If you don't like it, fine. If I don't like it, I'd rather be doing something else with that $20,000. I just would. Okay, so we talked about prevention and how far we're gonna go, right, with it. How do you embrace being older? What do you embrace about growing older, Roberta? I want to hear it. Don't act like it's such a chore. Oh, God.
I mean, there are things that I embrace. I embrace the wisdom part. I embrace more of the internal things, which I think is more important anyway. Like, I embrace having the wisdom. What's funny, and I'll give a good example, is I love social media, and I love the fact that other women, especially Black women, are out here spreading positivity and affirmations and sharing their journeys. And a lot of these women are in their like late 20s, early 30s, and the stuff that they're saying that they've discovered, I'm like, girl, I figured that out 15 years ago. We need to have a TED Talk. Like, I'm embracing that part of me, because I'm like, I've learned so much from life, and it's because I've lived the life.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly embrace all of that. My spirituality, from me growing from the person that you knew in grad school to the person that's sitting here now, I embrace that, and all the aging that had to happen between then and now.
You know, that was very deep. And while you were thinking about that, I appreciate all that, and I'm going to comment on that. But I did think of one thing that I would do.
Okay.
Cosmetic surgery wise, my boobs. If my boobs ever got down to my knees, them suckers coming up.
I would absolutely get my boobs done. I thought about doing that anyway. I just, Oh,
I still have nice boobs. I don't need to. I don't know. I am going to brag on you, but
I mean,
they're still sitting.
I mean, it's kind of a non-factor for me. It's just like, all right, girl. But also, I don't like to have that much attention on me. That's the other thing, too. Just like, it's a balance for me, because it's like, I don't like to be the center of attention. I don't like people to look at me. That's probably the main reason why I haven't gotten a boob job to this point. Because, I don't want that kind of attention.
Yeah, I don't think you need one either. I feel like you have nice boobs. What do I embrace about growing older? All of those things you said. Just being smarter, being wiser, making better decisions, right? I feel like, just being a part of the 92%. Being the wise person in the room. The other thing I embrace about getting older is I feel like I'm way more relaxed. I done chilled the F out. Like, chill out. Calm down.
Because you learn, you have gone through all the battles and all the wars, and you realize what's worth it and what is not.
What is worth it and what is not.
Ooh, it's crystal clear. It's just like, yep.
It's like, chill out.
Chill out.
Yes, even at work, they're like, oh, I'm just more of myself. I'm sorry, guys. This is who I am. If you don't like that I play R&B in my office, it's my office.
You can leave.
Correct. Whatever it needs. I need to get through the day. I would have
never thought that or said that. I would have never said that. But like at 25, 30, I would have never.
For sure. No, it was gray suits, blue suits.
Do whatever I need to do to like fit in or not rock the boat.
Yeah. That's what I embrace about, I embrace that, like just being chill. I also, embrace the fact that I'm smarter with money. I'm smarter with the decisions that I make. I, appreciate the smaller things in life, my friendships more. I put less pressure on my friendships than I did in the past. I don't overthink. I used to be a chronic overanalyzer. I probably still am in some.
I mean, a little bit. But it's good. In a good way.
Yeah. No. Sorry. We are reaching the end of this podcast. Yes, there are so many things to embrace about being older. And at the end of the day, I feel like do whatever makes you feel comfortable. Yeah. But the other thing I would say is just make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons, for the reasons that make sense to you, the reasons that you won't regret, the reasons that are outside of you. That's all I would say. Like do whatever you want, as long as you feel good about it and you're clear-headed and healthy,
I mean, that's the hardest part out of anything, making sure that you are clear-headed and you know what's right for you.
Yeah.
I mean, do that before you make any decisions.
Yeah, I do. So what do you want to challenge our our listeners to do now that we've reached the end of the podcast? What do you want to challenge them to do around aging? I don't have a CTA this week. I'm gonna leave that all up to you. What do you want them to do?
So for me, this topic in this episode has made me aware of where I have hangups and where I'm insecure. And so I would encourage listeners to lean into that as well, to kind of get past the superficial parts of aging and really think about what are the things about you that you're insecure about. Right. And take an honest evaluation of the things and activities you do to preserve your youth and why you do those things. Like, what are you trying to preserve? And if it's working for you, great. But if not, I would, implore you to explore a little bit further. How is it serving you? And is it possible for you to resolve those insecurities in other ways other than surgery or like whatever, of preserving a certain physical aging thing. So yeah, my call to action for this time is self-reflection about where do you fall into traps of aging and anti-aging and why. Right.
That's a good one. This was a fun conversation.
This was a fun one. I was letting out all my all my secrets. Look, still can't get my last name though.
It's okay. We'll get it eventually. Okay. So thank you guys for joining us for another episode, and we will see you next time.